Hello guys, Mystagophobia here today. Today I decided to put another PvP/PVE build together because my previous video you really liked it. Hybrid skill build PvP for conflict. You really liked it, so I decided to put another one together. So if you like my content guys, like and subscribe, and let's get straight into the video. So this is another conflict build guys. You can use it in PvE as well. It's really good, but our first piece of gear is the Coyote's Mask, the exotic. This is to help your team, mainly. Core attributes are a red, 15% weapon damage, attributes are 6% critical hit chance, 12% critical hit damage, and the mod is 11.9% critical hit damage. And a talent, if you don't have this mask yet, is Pack Instincts. You and all allies gain a bonus based on the distance of the last enemy you hit. 0 to 15 meters, plus 25% critical hit damage. That's good, you'll see why in a minute. 15 to 25 meters, 10% critical hit damage and 10% critical hit chance. 25 meters plus 25% critical hit chance. The chest piece I'm using is a Grupo Sombra piece. You'll get 15% critical hit damage from this. The core attribute is a red, 15% weapon damage. The attributes are 6% critical hit chance, 12% critical hit damage, and 12% critical hit damage mod. And the talent I decided to go with is Obliterate. Critical hit increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds, stacks up to 25 times, so that's a lot of damage you get if you can hit your 25 bullets, which you'll have max crit chance basically. And this talent got a little buff. It used to be 5 seconds, now it's 10. Our holster is Negotiator's Dilemma. From what I've seen in conflict, not a lot of people use it. I've not seen anybody use Negotiators. It did get changed in PvP, which I'll show you now. It got changed so it's a radius with it, so I'll read it to you now if you haven't used it before. 2 pieces 15% critical hit chance, 3 pieces 20% critical hit damage, 4 piece is hostile negotiations, critical hits mark enemies for 20 seconds, up to 3 marks total, which is only 4 people on the other team. When you critically hit a marked enemy, all other marked enemies within 15 meters takes 60% of the damage dealt. Whenever a marked enemy dies, gain 2% critical hit damage, stacking up to 20 times or until combat ends. That's not really important because you're not going to get 20 kills in conflict. Let's be real. Core attribute is blue. The attribute is 12% critical hit damage. Our second piece in Negotiator's Dilemma is the knee pads. It's a blue core and 12% critical hit damage. Our gloves are Negotiators as well, with blue core, 12% critical hit damage. And I decided to go with the backpack because the backpack gives you a extra talent, extra bonus. Critical measures increase hostile negotiation damage to additional marked enemies from 60% to 100%. So say you strip somebody of like 1,000,000 armor and a person next to them has 1,000,000 armor as well, you'll kill both of them. But some of the things, some of the clips at the start, I do kill multiple people at once, you'll see. So it's not bad in conflict, this build. Core attribute is a blue, 12% critical hit damage, and the mod is 11.9% critical hit damage as well. The gun that I had to choose guys really is because it's OP, it's the St. Elmo's engine. If you don't have this exotic yet, I'd recommend using an F2000 or a FAMAS. Core attributes are 15% assault rifle damage, 21% health damage and 10% damage targets out of cover. And the talent is shooting an enemy with this weapon will give 1 stack. At 100 stacks the next magazine will be 100% filled with shock ammo, but that got changed in the previous update. That is 50%, so half of your mag will be filled with shock ammo in PvP, so it's not as OP as it used to be in PvP. But the only reason I'm using this is because it's stable and because of the mods, what I'm going to read now. Optics rail, 20% critical hit damage, 30 rounds, 20% weapon handling and 20% critical hit chance, which those mods are absolutely insane. So the secondary, I'm using an M870 shotgun, 15% shotgun damage, 12% damage to armor, 10% damage to targets out of cover. And we are using the talent Optimist. Weapon damage is increased by 3% for every 10% ammo missing from the mag. And those are the mods I'm using. And then the pistol I'm using when I decide to shoot people's like hives if they're like tier 1 or something is the Orbit. You can only get this from the Dark Zone and the named caches. 15% pistol damage, 10% damage to target cover, and the Talent Perfect Finisher. Swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 35% critical hit chance and 40% critical hit damage for 15 seconds. And that's the mod. So the first skill I'm using is the Defender Drone. We're tier 0 because we don't have extra tiers, but it actually sponges 20%, 10% in PvP. So those are the mods I'm using. And then this is a skill that I use that people don't actually expect coming from you, because I don't see many people using it, is the Banshee Pulse. So when you pulse them, it will confuse them and their aim will go everywhere and you've got the advantage then. But those are the mods I'm using. This is the overall build, guys. Coyotes, Grupo Sombra, 4-piece Negotiators. Not many people use it in PvP. I don't know why, because it's actually pretty good. And it helps the team as well, especially if you're with teammates or friends. But the St. Elmo's shotgun, pistol, and we're using gunner specialization. So the stats for the St. Elmo's is 57% critical hit chance, 207.8% critical hit damage. Shotgun is 47% critical hit chance, 187% critical hit damage. And the pistol is 42 chance, 187 critical hit damage. And if you really want to use your specialization weapon, which you can in conflict if you get the supply drop, you've got 37% critical hit chance and 187% critical hit damage, which is pretty mad. But I'll show you the specialization now. I'll just scroll down the rest of the stats for you. So the specialization I'm using is the gunner specialization. Reason I'm using gunner is because you get 10% armor on kill, and you get armor kits repair 100% armor and grant 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds, which is helpful. We also get 15% assault rifle damage for the St. Elmo's, 15% increased shotgun damage for the M870, and 15% sidearm damage for your Orbit pistol. Also, when we get a kill, our rate of fire increases by 5% for 5 seconds, which is helpful. We get ammo every 60 seconds for you and your team, which helps as well, team help. And we get, obviously, the Banshee Pulse, guys, which is really good in PvP. Not many people expect you to use it. So, this is the build, guys, I put together. Thanks for watching, guys, and happy hunting.